The Honourable David Parker.
I have a rare opportunity to disagree with the last speaker, actually. Most of these aren't Dinleys. These are, some of these are regulations. I do agree, though, with the member, Andrew Bailey, who I've got a lot of time for, that the main categories of these subordinate legislation that need to be confirmed are things that are emergency regulations or things that impose levies or taxes. And if you think about the reason for that, it's that things that are generally more important are meant to come before the House. Things that are less important and more administrative are often delegated to arms of government, or indeed sometimes bodies outside of government like standard setting boards and things that are less important, and they're done without scrutiny from Parliament. They've got the ability to put regulations into place. And sometimes things sort of fall a bit in the middle where they're getting close to something that's important enough that you think, well, that's the sort of thing that Parliament would do for itself, but if it's an emergency thing, it has to be done immediately rather than through some long legislative process. So it's done by way of a regulation that then has to be confirmed within a certain period by Parliament, or it lapses. And in the case of things that strike levies, which sometimes verge on being taxes, given that Parliament generally reserves for itself the right to levy taxes, these things then are done effectively in a way that is conditional upon parliamentary approval through the Subordinate Legislation Confirmation Bill. And the most obvious one in this batch, if you like, that falls into that category is the setting of road user charges, or RUC. And those road user charges are, of course, a substitute for excise duty, which is a tax. So you can see why why Parliament wants to exercise to retain some control on the setting of those sorts of levies, and that's why they fall within the Subordinate Legislation Confirmation Bill. I'm not going to repeat what's been said in respect of some of the non-standard provisions of this Subordinate Legislation Confirmation Bill, being the tidy up of the different legislative confirmation rules that apply under different statutes, and what's been said by other members on that will suffice. With those comments, sir, I support this bill.
I call Chris Bishop.
Well, thank you very much, Mr.